it's Laura with Following the Paper Trail, and I have a soft, romantic mini to show you today. This mini, it doesn't have a home yet. It hasn't told me where it wants to go, but it is one that I also have a kit available for on my Etsy store, and it's up already. After I load this video, I'll be loading a video showing what's in the kit. But it would be a great Valentine mini, but it would also make a great wedding or engagement or anniversary mini, because it doesn't scream I have to be a Valentine. It has words or sentiments that I printed out on my computer. I did cut these out with a spellbinder die that I use on my Sizzix. You can cut out spellbinders on Sizzix with a platform. It's got some doilies. It's got these really pretty Prima flowers. It's got some vintage looking paper and fabric roses that are just absolutely scrumptious, and I absolutely love them. And then I found these cute little tiny baby roses that I have throughout the album, and they are so cute, and all of those flowers are included in the kit if you are interested. On these flowers I did something fun with this pen called a snow marker. You draw it on. I just drew it on, right on the flowers after I'd already glimmer misted them. And then when you heat it, it puffs up and kind of has a powdery kind of, but it doesn't brush off. It's really cool. I wish it would do it justice here on the video, but I just I just drew it on and then puffed it up, and it came out really pretty. It has a Tim Holtz swivel clasp with a couple of charms on it. It's got a heart charm and a heart that's with an engraved love on it. And then I have these cool velvet beads that I found that are just yummy kind of cranberry color. Pretty lace. This is some cool bead trim that I found that's not like the regular bead trim that a lot of us have been using, because it's larger pearls and it's flat backed. So these are only half domes, easier to glue down. But some pretty lace. This one, I just used ribbon on the binding rings. Don't faint, but I didn't use fiber in this entire mini. I wanted it to be really romantic, so I used a lot more lace than normal. I mean a lot more ribbon and then a lot of lace. So anyway, let me show you inside, what's inside. Inside the front cover, I have a piece of lace with some more of that pearl that runs down the lace to create a place for a photo mat to go behind, as well as a little tiny tag. Now each of the pages has a tag similar to this. They're kind of cut, shaped like a ticket. It's got some of the Graphic 45 Le Romantique little stamps that I cut out from the paper, as well as these little price tags that I got at the office supply store that I've then distressed, and then some punched flowers. So that goes in there, and that's just handwritten love on there. Then on each of the pages has a different sentiment that I did, as I said, on my computer. Cut it out with my Sizzix die, and they each have a couple of tags. Oops, I lost the ribbon for this one. Dragonfly, of course. And then here, like I showed you over on this side, each of these pockets has a tag. Now these little pockets are created from the page being made out of an envelope of what else, of course, because I'm going through my envelope period. But these are ones that you can get at stamp stores. I've seen them at several of the stamp stores here in the Seattle area, and they have a curved flap. And what I've done is I took that curved flap, left it loose, took a round doily, cut it in half, and stuck it back behind that curve, and then put a piece of paper that's, what, 4 by, I think, 5 something, 5.5, that I put down here. And this is after I trimmed off the bottom edge of the envelope so that it creates a pocket. As you can see here, creates a pocket. I also did a half circle finger pull area. But then what I've done is, after I've added the doily and the paper, I took my sentiment piece, attached it to the flap only, except there's a little tiny glue dot right under this end, as well as this Tim Holtz paper clip. And what that does is it creates a pocket back behind where the flap is. Now I just have tiny little 2x3 tags in there, but you could definitely do much larger tags that could fit through there. Then inside of the actual envelope is a quarter sheet of 8.5 by 11 mat, and then I just made a photo mat out of a corresponding color, added some bling. Now one of the things I did is I did do an edge punch along the edge of each of these, and then threaded ribbon through that edge punch, because these stick out a little bit because I've bound these with eyelets there, so that this can't fit all the way inside the envelope, so it sticks out. So having that ribbon just sticking out, see, doesn't that look pretty with all those different colors coming out there? So, okay, so then on the next page I have Wish, and on the opposite page of that is this really pretty paper that's in the collection that has these flowers. I added some bling to the center. You can put a small little photo there, some journaling. Here's the word Wish with, again, a couple of tags that fit back behind in that kind of pocket area. Then inside they have some stamped or punched flowers, not stamped, punched flowers, and I used some heart brads on them. Again, the ribbon threading through. This page I have a Spellbinders frame that I cut out that I love. Spellbinders has some really intricate die cuts, and I just love them. Here is some buttons and a little journaling spot. This page says Joy. Again, a couple of tags with the punch flowers. This one's got a heart paper clip on the photo mat that's inside. This has some really yummy green braid that has a velvet ribbon threaded through it. Really pretty. So I have a photo mat there. This page says Dream. Again, a couple of tags. I like doing a lot of punch flowers. It really ties everything all together color-wise, and it really is a great way to use up your little bitsy scraps. Here's some just little frame of flowers with some punch flowers behind them, and some bling on the photo mat, and that just slips inside. This page, some lace that I've glimmer misted and also distressed inked. Here's a plastic button that looks like metal. It really looks like metal. But I took my tonic scissors and I chopped the shank off the back, glued it down, glued some ribbon. It looks like a little charm. Now throughout this album I only used 2 colors of glimmer mist. I used Old Lace and Tattered Rose because I just wanted soft glimmer without a lot of color, and these 2 are good ones for that. Old Lace is a nice kind of neutral, vintagey looking color that's got kind of a neutral glimmer to it. Tattered Rose adds just a kiss of color, and then it's got kind of almost an iridescent glimmer that's in it. So these are good ones that just kiss of color, mainly just give you that little touch of sparkly shine. I also then use 2 tones of distress ink when I'm distressing my edges. If you use a double tone, it gives you a lot more depth and a lot more realism than just a single color. This one I used old paper because that has a greenish cast, and a lot of my papers have a greenness, underlying green tone to them. So I first distressed with my old paper and kind of pulled that in just a little bit from the edge, and then I used my absolute favorite frayed burlap just on the very edge of the paper, just to kind of, as paper ages, it gets darker towards the edges. So if you want to have more depth to your distressing, use 2 different tones that one's a little bit lighter than the other that work well together. You're not going to want to use 2 polar opposite colors, or it's not going to look as like it's naturally aged. On this page I have Cherish with my 2 tags. Here was what I call a creative opportunity in my quilt classes when somebody does something a little different than maybe they should have. I stamped this. I already had the hole in the ribbon in, and I stamped it, but I stamped it with love upside down. So to fill the hole, I just punched some flowers and filled the hole up with the punch flowers, and punched another hole and moved the ribbon. So I call it a creative opportunity. I would not probably have decorated it that way, so it gave me a chance to do something a little different. So Cherish, here this has a photo mat with a ribbon with some bling on it. This says love. This last page, a little photo mat behind a ribbon holder that has, I took the paper clip and just kind of squeezed it around the pearl of this ribbon. Has a little photo mat back behind it, so then you can put a photo back behind there as well. The back page, I used the paper that I added that is kind of from a dictionary with love and all that kind of thing. Some punch flowers. I love doing the punch flowers. As I said, it uses up some of the extra scraps that that you have. So anyway, and again, the Graphic 45. Love this stripe. Love it. I love it. I'm going to have to get a whole bunch of it because I'm going to want it. And then about the time I'm looking for it, they'll run out of it. So get bunches of it. So anyway, here's a pretty romantic mini. If this is something you're interested in, making something along these lines similar to this, as I said, I do have kits in my Etsy store. So follow thepapertrail.etsy.com. I also will put still photos of this up on my blog at followingthepapertrail.blogspot.com. So if you want to look at the still photos of it. So anyway, there's a romantic mini. Hope you like it, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.